Look, turbo spooling. Hear that thing whistle when I floor something. Wide body flexing, I ain't stopping, I'm a door hunter.
Yo, what up, YouTube? This is Soul City RC. My name is Billy D, and welcome back to the lot. Hey, yo, check it right. So in this video, we're gonna go over what to expect the first time you ever visit an indoor RC drift track. So if you're new to RC drifting, right, you plan on heading up an indoor track, here are 5 solid tips to help you get prepared. You heard? All right. So the first tip is gonna be to check the track rules and surface. Every indoor track has their own rules and their own surface type. They're either going to be one of 3 surfaces: a P-tail, polished concrete, or carpet. So because of that, most tracks require specific tire brands that best fit that surface. So check that in advance. So when I went to RC Car World's track, you had to use either one of these 2 tires. And then at my local track, I think they were trying to use these, but they might be switching to something else. Most tracks also require the use of a LiPo bag while you're charging your batteries. So continuing with the RC Car World example, I didn't have a LiPo bag when I went there, so I had to buy one there. This is it. I think it was, I don't know, $15 maybe. I don't remember. So if you don't have a bag, you're gonna have to buy one when you get to the track. And not all, but most tracks have a track fee. And our RC Car World, I believe it was $20. So if you go there, for example, and you already have these wheels, these tires, and a LiPo bag, you drift there for $20. I think it was all day. I don't remember. I think they got 2 different prices. I think $10 for 4 hours. I could be mistaken, but I was gonna be there for a while, so I paid the $20 fee. Plus the price of both of these tires, which was, I don't remember, maybe $20 each. And then this bag. So 20, 40, 60, about $75 I spent. I went 2 days, so the second day I only had to pay the $20 because I had the tires and the LiPo bag after that. So check with the track, see what tires they use and what's their LiPo bag policy or whatever. And another thing I want to mention real quick, which should be common knowledge but might not be, most tracks don't allow 4-wheel drive cars. I think I covered that in a different video of mine, but yeah, most tracks don't allow 4-wheel drive cars. My local track does, but a place like RC Car World does not. Okay guys, number 2 is to start slow and get used to the track layout and track surface. So instead of going in there going full throttle, focus on clean transitions and smooth throttle control. Follow the track layout and try to hit the clipping points. Try to be consistent and stay focused on learning the track and the surface. Because just going back to my example, I'd never driven on P-Top before until I got to RC Car World, so I spent a while figuring out how to drive on that, opposed to me driving on my local track, which is polished concrete, or just my basement track, which is just concrete. It's way grippier, so it was a little learning curve for a while. And just keep in mind that all surfaces ride different. So get familiar with the surface and the layout, and then, after a few practice runs, you'll get it. Alright, so after you get your little practice runs in, you'll move into number 3. And tip 3 is to dial in your car setup. So for smoother indoor tracks, most people use a softer suspension, and you might have to adjust your camber to the different surfaces. You also might have to adjust your toe and even the weight balance in your chassis to match your style of driving based on that track surface. So for instance, a carpet track will have way more traction than a P-tail track, so you have to tune accordingly for either surface. All right, guys, so for tip number 4, after you've done a few laps, you're trying to dial it in, it's still not right, don't be afraid to ask for advice and just watch the more experienced drivers. I'm not saying like stare at them all weird or whatever, but like watch how they drive on the track, like where they brake at, where they go full throttle, those type of things. And don't be afraid to ask for setup tips. The indoor track community is usually welcoming. I can attest to that. They'll be more than willing to help if you ask. Again, going back to my experience at RC Car World, I had no idea what I was doing, and they were more than happy to help me. I even left my fucking charger plug home, which is in New York, and RC Car World is in Jersey. So I had no plug for my charger. And one of the dudes there was more than more than happy to help me use his charger so I could, enjoy my time there. Because I'm like in a whole nother state with no fucking charger. And I was going to be there for a whole weekend. So shout out to him. And when I was struggling, driving around the track, dudes was more than happy to help me set up my car. They didn't do it, they just tell me like, yo, change this or check that or put these springs on there. And I appreciated that. So don't be afraid to ask people at the track for help. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you. And number 5 is something I didn't really know about, to be honest, until I got to RC Car World's track, which is just basic track etiquette and, respecting other drivers. Now, I know about respecting other drivers, but the track etiquette, I didn't know what that was, because to be honest, at my local track, it's kind of a free-for-all, balls to the walls type shit. But at a track like RC Car World that's got tens of drivers there at a time, you need to know track etiquette. And most indoor tracks usually have like a flow in traffic direction, so try to stay with that and avoid cutting people off, and wait for space before you jumping in onto the track. Another thing varies, I guess, from place to place, which is if you spin out. So some places, if you spin out, they want you to stay there till everybody pass you, and then you go. And other places, they want you to get out the way as soon and as fast as possible. So just check the rules when you get there, I guess. Or better yet, ask the drivers like, yo, what happens if I spin out? What should I do? Make sure, again, I'm going to touch on the LiPo bags, but make sure you use a LiPo bag when you charging your batteries. Just bringing it ain't going to do shit. Use the LiPo bag. Another track etiquette thing that I do, you don't have to do this, but the first time I visit a track, I buy my tires there. So whatever tires they're using, I just buy them there. It's just my form of showing support for the track. Bring extra batteries, bring extra wheels and your tools, and because you never know when you're gonna need to fix something. So for me, I bring this little toolbox, and it has basically everything I'll need if something breaks. So I have tools, wheel nuts, shims, different pin gears. It's like a just in case box. Alright, now I'm going to show you everything that I pack when I go. And this should be like your checklist as well. Make sure you have your remote, your charger, and the plug. You're going to want to bring your LiPo bag. And your batteries. Tools. Extra wheels and tires. Alright guys, so a quick recap. First tip, check the track rules and the track surface. Second, start slow and get used to the track layout and the track surface. Third, dial in your car setup. Number 4, ask for advice and watch experienced drivers and don't be afraid to ask. And number 5 is respect other drivers and learn the track etiquette. Alright, I'm up out of here.
I'm a door hunter, catch 'em lacking, we gon' slide. High octane ops, every mission's do or die. JDM drift, legend skating through the city lights. Choppers in the trunk, if we spin it's overdrive. I'm a door hunter, hear that turbo.